You know, it's okay if there is a kid's show out there that doesn't have morals. You know, life lessons. Kid shows are known to have morals and life lessons, but it's okay if they don't. I mean, most of the time, every kid's show out there will have some sort of moral in some episodes. Not every episode will have a moral or something that the kid should learn from, because an episode can just be an episode. It could just be something to entertain you. You don't need to learn from it. You don't need to get anything out of it. You could just sit there and be entertained. That's what the show is for. Though sometimes they like to educate you and give you a life lesson, say, maybe you shouldn't do this, maybe you should do this instead, or it's good to do this and bad to do this, you know, right from wrong. That's what makes kids shows unique. You rarely see any of that in the adult world. You don't see any morals in those kind of shows because they're made for adults. They know their ins and outs. They know what they do is right or wrong. Kids are very little. They don't understand yet, and so it's important that you put life lessons in these shows. Now again, not every show will have life lessons. Some shows can be just for entertainment. Looney Tunes, Scooby-Doo, Tom and Jerry, these are massive, big shows for kids, and they're very popular, and they don't have any morals. So if you make a show and you want to put morals in it, then just make sure you do it right. Make sure you're giving the kids the exact moral and get it through your head that this needs to make sense and needs to be a good thing for kids, because these life lessons in these shows are supposed to be good. They're not supposed to be the opposite. You're supposed to be teaching them a lesson in a way. You're supposed to be giving them a heads up on something. You know, it's your job as the show, if you choose to put morals in your episodes, to get something through the kid's head. Because if you do it wrong, you're going to end up like Teen Titans Go. I've already given my opinion on Teen Titans Go multiple times. Alright, about 2 times, but after today it'll be multiple times. That's only because I just can't stand this show. I seriously cannot. This show is awful, and it appears everybody else hates this show on the internet. I hear nothing but bad reviews on the internet, and yet the producers still refuse to turn the show off. They refuse to take it off the network because they're like, it's what we want to do. F you guys. You know, that's their attitude. You will not believe how many original Teen Titan fans are so aggravated by this show that they physically lost interest in this show. And again, I've never seen original Teen Titans, but I know just by looking at a picture of it that it's way better than this piece of crap. Teen Titans Go is a superhero show, so that means we're obviously going to get some life lessons. That seems to be a theme with superhero shows, that most of the time superhero shows will give morals, seeing that there's some people that you can look up to. And seeing that Teen Titans Go is not a superhero show, we're not going to get good morals. You'd figure maybe we wouldn't get any morals at all, and some episodes don't give any life lessons, but there are some episodes where they decide, hey, let's educate some kids. And when you think it's going to be exactly what you think, it's the total opposite. You can't even say you're making a parody off of one of those shows that give life lessons because you're forgetting your audience are very little children that mimic everything they see off TV. And that is a fact. Kids will mimic anything they think is funny. Teen Titans Go can be very humorous to kids because they don't understand what's going on, and therefore, if they see something goofy or hear something goofy, they're gonna mimic it. But that's what I want to talk about today. Teen Titans Go gives a lot of lessons, and they are all wrong. They are the worst, terrible lessons anybody could give. They are the complete opposite of what a kid should know. And I went through every episode of Teen Titans Go last night, and let me tell you, that was so painful. But I only picked out around 15 episodes that I felt gave all the wrong lessons. There are probably more than that, but these are just some that I thought over, and God, terrible. Every episode is mostly terrible with the show. Although, honestly, if I am speaking about Teen Titans Go, I would say maybe the first couple of episodes in Season 1 are exceptional because they are not as crazy, nor as weird, nor as horrible as the ones we get now. The earlier episodes can be tolerable, so if you want to give this show a chance, just watch the first couple episodes. Other than that, let's forget about all the episodes that make absolutely no sense, all the episodes that get us aggravated, and even the episodes that were specifically made for the viewers to say F off. And believe me, I'll be talking about that another day. Right now, let's focus on the 15 episodes that I picked out that I feel like have the worst morals ever. Side note, this list is in no particular order from best to worst. The only order I guess you could say this is in is from when it first aired all the way to now. So anything from Season 1 onward in order. Yeah. Lazy Sunday. It's better to be lazy and do nothing than exercise. I argued in my head whether this episode was giving a lesson or something, but then looking it over, it kind of does. The whole point of the episode is that Robin gets rid of the couch because Cyborg and Beast Boy are taking it over and won't let anybody else sit on it, and because it's Lazy Sunday. So Robin decides to get rid of the couch and replace it with a treadmill. Cyborg and Beast Boy complain about it, don't like it, and force the others to help them get the couch back. Now, this could have been a great episode to teach kids that maybe it's not good to sit around and instead maybe be a little active, but being that it's Teen Titans Go, of course we have to go the easy way and learn that, okay, exercising is terrible, let's get the couch back. So really, this episode is just teaching kids that being lazy is okay. That's not okay. You're gonna get fat. Staring at the future. Having responsibility is unacceptable. This was an episode I was originally going to talk about the first time, and then I decided I'll just do a whole Teen Titans Go review. I probably mentioned this in the original review, but this episode, it defines moral, and I know it's specifically saying, I know it's an episode that is dealing with a moral that, you know, when you get older you need to have responsibility. This episode surrounds Cyborg and Beast Boy being goofballs and the others telling them that they can't always act like this and one day they're gonna have to give it up and take responsibility. They refuse to do so, so they go out to get some pizza and have a staring contest to see who gets the last pizza. The staring contest lasts for 30 years and they find out that all of their friends are now boring, seeing that they have happy lives and new exciting lives and more responsibilities, which means they can't hang out with each other anymore. This then has Cyborg and Beast Boy wanting to change time so this way nobody can have responsibilities and they can be goofballs forever. This also then leads into the world being taken over and the Titans not doing anything about it because we're forgetting that they're superheroes and they can't fight. Great moral, let's not have any responsibilities whatsoever. I'm a goofball too, but I mean, like, I even have responsibilities. There's nothing wrong with taking responsibility and being a goofball at the exact same time. What Robin said in this episode is somewhat false because you can be goofy and take responsibility as well, but it's just wrong. It is good to take responsibility, kids. Don't be like these two idiots. You're better than that. Knowledge. If you're a smart person, you won't have any friends. Pretty self-explanatory. If you are smart, you will not have any friends. Starfire feels like because she's dumb, she doesn't fit anywhere. Raven's apparently very smart and is considered a bummer. This has Starfire going to Raven, asking her to give her some knowledge, and Starfire becomes a bummer, which means nobody wants to hang out with her. So, bottom line, if you're a real brainiac, you're not going to have any friends. That's what this episode's basically trying to tell you. Remember that, kids. If you're smart, you won't have any friends. Sandwich thief. You shouldn't let anything go. In this episode, Robin obsesses about the fact that somebody took his sandwich that he made. It's a perfect sandwich and he wanted to eat it, but it's gone. He's not letting it go and is physically harassing all of his friends to try to figure out who took it. And in the end, even when he finds it, he forces his friends to tell them that it is okay to never let something go. This is telling kids that if you are missing something and it's been a few weeks, you have to obsess about it and not let it go. Even when people tell you, dude, let it go, you cannot let it go, apparently, because of this episode. That's what this episode is teaching kids. Hot garbage. Never throw anything out. Keep all of your trash. Do I even need to say anything? This episode is disgusting, yet it's just disgusting, alright? You should not keep garbage. Nobody keeps garbage. Because you know what happens? Then your room smells. Everybody wants to throw Beast Boy's garbage out, but Beast Boy won't let anybody. Then Beast Boy decides to show everybody the magic of garbage. There is nothing beautiful about garbage. It goes in the trash. Throw stuff out. You are the people that are destroying this earth. Hose water. If you act like a kid, you'll be unborn. This episode involves Cyborg and Starfire, believe it or not Beast Boy, acting like kids, and Robin's telling them that they need to grow up because they'll face the consequences. As time goes on, Robin notices that they're de-aging, and eventually they revert back to being eggs. This has Robin, Raven, and Beast Boy going after them on the island where babies come from, and eventually they all start being unborn, and the episode ends with them all being unborn and eggs with legs. So, it's a great moral to tell kids, if you don't act your age, you're gonna be unborn. What a great message to teach kids. Oil drums. No TV turns you into a zombie. I'm pretty sure I talked about this episode in my original review, but honestly, why? I don't have the TV on and I'm not turning into a zombie. You don't need TV to be happy. I mean, I watch TV all the time and it makes me happy, but when it's off, I'm also happy because I could think. TV's great, but it's okay to not have it on once in a while. Also, they kind of insult parades here. Apparently parades are boring. Great. Kicking a ball and pretending to be hurt. Soccer is stupid. And that's basically what they're saying. Soccer is stupid. And for people that like soccer and watch this show, I could see them being very offended. They offend soccer in this episode. I'm not even joking. They say it's the most boringest thing ever and make fun of it. So, I guess we're not going to have soccer in the future, because this is what this episode's teaching. That soccer is not a real sport. I used to play soccer, and nobody cared. More of the same. No New Year's traditions equals no good year. Basically like that. If you don't do the simple New Year's traditions such as a toast or the countdown, you're not going to have a good year. It's honestly a really stupid moral. It's very unnecessary. Now I don't know how to say this episode, but I'm going to try my best. Croissant? I think it's croissant. I don't know. But basically they're teaching you that looks do matter. Apparently if you're not good looking, you're going to get shunned. All the Titans get turned into bugs in this episode and have to hide because they're so ugly and they feel like they're going to get judged. Yeah, they basically say looks do matter. And when Starfire puts on new makeup, Robin hides her face. Because they're saying that looks do matter. No one's going to respect you if you look really ugly, apparently. I'm the sauce. If you don't play rainy day games, it'll continue to rain. This episode is just so stupid. For one thing, they physically give a lesson on how rain is made, but then they contradict themselves and say, no, that's not how the rain is made. This is how rain is made. So we're basically lying to kids, number one, and that's not true. You don't need to play rainy games when it rains. I don't do any of that. I just sit around my house. I get stuff done. You don't have to play games. It's fun to play games when it rains, but I mean, you don't have to do that all the time. Watch, some kid's not going to play a game and the sun will come out. He'll realize the show's lying to him. That's how this is going to end out. BBB Day. In other words, Beast Boy's birthday. If you don't pay attention to people on their birthday, the universe will forget what their age is. One of the most stupidest recent episodes ever, and I swear to God, I physically screamed at the end of this episode because it was so stupid. It says it all. Beast Boy's birthday. If you don't pay attention to them on their birthday, the universe is going to forget. Beast Boy reverts back to a baby because everybody didn't forget it was his birthday, but just basically didn't care. They said happy birthday and all, but I mean, like, they didn't make it a big deal. And therefore the universe forgot what age he was because nobody paid attention to him. So although it's kind of getting a moral out there saying it's important to pay attention to your friends on their birthday, it's just a really stupid concept and a really stupid way of teaching them. If you don't pay attention to your best friend Timmy's birthday, oh, he's going to turn back into a baby, and then he'll be an old guy, and then he'll be a teenager. The universe will forget what age he is. Great moral. The true meaning of Christmas. Do I even need to say it? Honestly, how retarded is this? Usually when they do one of these kind of episodes, they bring in Jesus. Now, I'm not as holy, but I still know that Christmas is all about Jesus. It's just, they don't even mention Jesus in this episode. They totally forget about that. In fact, he's not even brought up. The Titans don't get anything for 3 years and decide, okay, we'll spend it with our friends and family, because that's what it's all about. But then they realize, no, this sucks. Let's get presents. So they travel to the North Pole, physically blow up Santa's workshop, and Santa tells them, no, let's just hang out. We'll celebrate the true meaning of Christmas. Even Santa doesn't like the true meaning of Christmas and thinks it's all about presents. And then he just decides to give presents to all the evil people in the world. Look, I like presents. I like getting gifts on presents. But you're doing it all wrong in this episode. You really are. I was this close to punching the TV. This is not a good Christmas episode. No! Don't ever show it again. Please. It's terrible. And finally, garage sale. If you get rid of your stuff from the past, there won't be any future. This is one of the recent episodes, and by far one of the stupidest. First off, there is actually evil villains in this episode destroying the town. Do the Titans do anything? No! They decide to stay in the attic and look through all their memories. Then when they find out that they have too much stuff, they decide to have a garage sale. And then Raven's like, well, we can't get rid of all this stuff because then there won't be any future. And when they do get rid of their stuff, time stops because apparently there's no future without the past. This episode's basically like the garbage episode. If you get rid of stuff from your past, the future's not going to happen. This is implying that you need to keep everything you own. That causes fire hazards, people. No. Do not listen to these episodes. I hate Teen Titans Go. Honestly, I do. I don't care it's for kids. I don't care. This is a terrible show. It shouldn't be for kids. I hate Teen Titans Go. I can't express it enough. And if you think this is the end that I'm going to be talking about with Teen Titans Go, believe me, it is not. I'm just getting started. What do you think? Do you think any of these morals are good? Do you actually watch Teen Titans Go, and do you find any good in this show whatsoever? Do you actually think the morals are good? Do you agree or disagree with anything I said in this video? Tell me in the comments, and also leave me your suggestions for whatever movie, TV show, or random thing you want me to talk about next. Thanks for watching The Wild Review on The Wild Reviewer, and you just saw me review a thing. Jesus Christ.